It's now been 1 week since Pixelgun announced Pixelgun 2. Now, I'm still not convinced about this game. Now, don't get me wrong, I want it to succeed. I want Pixelgun 3D to succeed. I've wasted like 8 years of my life playing this game and bringing you content and trying to help it. I want nothing more than both of these games to succeed, but I'm just not convinced. Now, today in this video, I want to go over a little bit more information regarding Pixelgun 2. Some information the developers shared with us directly via their socials. Other information I discovered on my own, but also a shout out to Joel, who did also inform me about a little bit of this information. With that being said, I would love to know your thoughts and opinions on Pixelgun 2. Are you excited? Are you underwhelmed? Are you worried about Pixelgun 3D? Let me know in the comment section. Without further ado, let's get into this. Let's start with the information that Pixelgun decided to share with us, not the information that I dug out. Now, they said, wow, just wow. We expected some hype around the Pixelgun 2 reveal, but not this level of energy. Now, that's quite an interesting opening line, because when I hopped on Google and searched Pixelgun 2, there really isn't that many people talking about this. In fact, I only found like 3 or 4 news websites actually mentioning this, and they're not top websites at all. They said, you absolutely blew us away. Huge thanks for making our announcement and teaser launch unforgettable. We know everyone's got a lot of questions and thoughts. Today, we'll answer the 5 most common ones, but more Q&As are coming. We'll get to everything that matters. And then once again, they're pushing people to whitelist Pixelgun 2. I have no idea how many people have whitelisted this. If somebody could let me know if there's a way to check how many people have whitelisted this, I would really appreciate it. So they started by saying Q&A. This is obviously meant to be the Pixelman stepping into a new universe, which is going to be Pixelgun 2. I kind of do like that concept. Question number 1. Will you continue supporting Pixelgun 3D after the release of Pixelgun 2? Their answer, absolutely. PG 3D isn't being replaced. It's part of the Pixelgun universe. We are expanding. Both games will grow side by side with updates, content, and support for both communities. Now, I'm going to disagree here. I think eventually Pixelgun 3D will be phased out and it will just be Pixelgun 2. From a companies and marketing standpoint, they have to say this, because if they went, nope, we're not supporting Pixelgun 3D anymore, well, no one's gonna fund this game anymore. No one's gonna spend money on keys or gems or currencies at all. People would simply stop, knowing that a new game is going to replace it in less than 12 months time. In fact, a lot sooner than that, which we will get into. So Pixelgun isn't growing. They've said both games will grow side by side. Pixelgun is not a growing game. And this isn't me bashing Pixelgun 3D. We have the evidence. The game is going down. It's not going up. With the same cycle of updates, it's just not going to work. Now, I will defend the developers in one instance here. Maybe the reason Pixelgun updates have been mediocre for the past 2 or 3 years is because they've been working on Pixelgun 2 and don't have the resources to support the game. That's completely fine. So that's kind of what I wanted to say on that. I think eventually it will be phased out. Question number 2. Will real money purchases give an unfair advantage in Pixelgun 2? Their answer. We heard all of your feedback from the classic PG 3D, and we are doing things differently this time. Pixelgun 2 focuses on skill, fair balance, and a better in-game economy. I am keeping this picture, this evidence of them actually saying that. And I'm going to come back to this 1 year after Pixelgun 2 releases to see how the economy is. They know directly that Pixelgun 3D isn't a balanced game and it's a very unfair experience, but they continue to flood their game and market with this broken meta over and over and over again. Unfortunately, Pixelgun, this isn't an answer that I strongly believe, and it wouldn't surprise me if 99.9% of the community would agree on this. Next question. Will PG2 be available on mobile devices? Answer, yes. Pixelgun 2 will launch simultaneously on iOS, Android, and Steam. So it will be available on your phone, it will be available on your PC, your iPads, etc. That's good news, but also at the same time, it's not. Part of Pixelgun's downfall was the PC version being an unfair advantage versus mobile players. And if they do the exact same system as they have done on Pixelgun 3D, it's not going to work. And the same thing will happen. The game will tank. Now, this is all based on my opinions, but also based on evidence of things that we can actually see happening. Now, you'll notice they didn't say console, but I have an answer regarding that. We will get into it for anyone who wants to play on Xbox or PlayStation or even a Switch. Next question. Will there be an anti-cheat at launch? Answer, yes. From day one, dedicated servers with dynamic system checks, all new security framework, gRPC protocol, everything's built to keep your matches fair, competitive, and clean. I don't speak tech. Anyone who is a hacker or understands this, explain what they're trying to say here. Does this mean that Pixelgun doesn't currently run on their own dedicated servers? How does it actually work? I really don't know. But we all know that it's a very big problem in Pixelgun 3D. I mean, we went through a phase for like 24 months of hackers absolutely dominating this game. It kind of reminded me of the old school Modern Warfare 2 days where hackers took over with the JTAG'd consoles and it was everywhere and they couldn't stop it. It got to that phase in Pixelgun 3D. I honestly thought we were just done with the game. Again, another answer I don't really believe. And I do believe this game will be hacked and probably ruined. That's going to happen no matter what. It's all about how they control it and how they improve their systems. This game will get hacked. Every game gets hacked. There's nothing we can do about it. A multi-billion-dollar corporation like Call of Duty gets hacked every single day. Fortnite, you name it. It happens. It's probably going to happen to Pixelgun 3D. Sure, not a problem, but it's how they deal with it, which is going to be the biggest concern. And then we move on to the next question here. And this is something I was also interested about. Will there be a count/progress transfer from PG3D to PG2? Pixelgun 2 is a completely new game with new mechanics, an updated progression system, and a fair, well-designed economy. So data transfer isn't possible. It's a fresh start where every player starts on equal ground, but we've got some surprise gifts for classic PG veterans. I think we're going to have the classic maps like Classic, Pool, and probably a couple of others. We might see a lot not there. I think the reason why we haven't seen PG3D on consoles is for copyright reasons. PlayStation, Xbox, Switch are a lot stricter than the likes of Steam. And I think they might have submitted Pixelgun 3D to these platforms and they've gone, no, not a chance. There is so much copyrighted content in Pixelgun 3D. So that right there kind of says to me, okay, Pixelgun 3D isn't going to be transferred to Pixelgun 2. That means all my purchases now eventually are going to be phased out. So if you're an active spender in Pixelgun 3D, I would be very cautious with your spending until this game launches. I think most players will eventually jump ship and go to Pixelgun 2. You don't see a lot of sequel games run side by side, very successful. And I don't think Pixelgun will be a company that can actually do that. Now listen, I hope they do. And everything I'm talking about today is just based on my opinions and my experience of playing this game for a very long time, 7 or 8 years. Some of you even longer. I don't have high hopes. And that's just because of the experience we've had over the last decade of this game. That being said, let's get into some information that we discovered by doing a little bit of searching. This is the Finance Yahoo website. Shout out to Joel who did share this with me. It says here, Pixelgun 2 is coming to mobile and PC in early 2026. Now, this was only posted the other day, right? And I've been kind of reading the information behind this. It's explaining who GDEV is. They are the parent company of Cubic Games and Pixelgun 3D. They start to talk about basically the announcement, the reveal, blah, 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 blah. And then they start to talk about this right here. Now, this is where I have my first concern / question. The announcement comes as Pixelgun 3D celebrates its 12th-year operation, having amassed over 300 million installs across all platforms since 2013 debut. I agree on that. I could definitely see 300 million people downloading this. But then they said the game maintains a robust community of 3 million monthly active users. Now, I don't disagree that they haven't generated $230 million. I would say that's true. But this right here, I strongly disagree with. We actually have evidence to back this up. Unless they are saying pretty much over 2.9 million of these players are playing on mobile, this just simply is not true. I don't know if there's any websites out there that can pull data from the iOS or Android database to give us an accurate reading of how many people are playing Pixelgun 3D on mobile. If anybody knows, let me know the player account down below in the comment section, because the numbers that Pixelgun shared don't resonate with the PC version at all. Pixelgun 3D on PC, 1,242 players over the last 1 hour, not even 2,000 over the last 24 hours. And this website says not even a peak of 20,000, although 17,000 plus in one day is actually, at one time, is actually quite impressive. But we can certainly see that this game is on the decline. It's not going up. Like, you can see the statistics here. It goes down. It's not getting any better. And when Pixelgun 2 releases, those players are going to move to the brand new game. That's usually what happens. So, yeah, I don't agree with the statistics that they keep sharing. They're actually sharing it like it's a positive experience. Pixelgun in 2025 is not a positive experience. The only website I could find, and this is another website with the database of Steam. This is accurate information pulled directly from the Steam database. I did find this one, and I will say Pixelgun on mobile is a popular game. It always has been. It's always been in like the top 100 of mobile shooters. Usually sits in like the top 50. It's certainly been up there and certainly does pretty well. So I think 99.9% of their statistics are being pulled from the mobile version. Definitely not Steam. Anyway, they start to talk a little bit more about what the features are going to have. Appealing casual arena shooter genre. They said enhanced graphics and gameplay. And then they said full cross-platform play. Seamless gaming experience across iOS, Android, and Steam. And eventually consoles. Like I said, they probably did try and push PG 3D to console. Probably got knocked back. But with this game, they're starting fresh. And they want to make sure they have it on console on day one. And this is probably going to mean that we won't see copyrighted content in this game, because it will be pushing boundaries of Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo, who definitely don't want to get in any kind of copyright lawsuits. Beloved legacy evolved. They start to talk about diverse game modes. We've seen all of this information. And again, they're really pushing the fair, free-to-play monetization experience, rather than the pay-to-win, which we've always known in Pixelgun 3D. So this website, Stock Titan, talks about the positives and the negatives. The negative here being long wait until early 2026 release. May impact current market momentum. It is expected to release in Q1, which will be anywhere from January to March. That's when we're expected to see the release of this game. I think they did the same with Pixelgun 3D on PC, and it was quite a success, so they're going to try and hit the same market. Console version not available at launch, potentially limiting initial market reach. Risk of cannibalizing existing Pixelgun 3D player base. That's going to happen. They might not believe that, but that's going to happen. The Pixelgun player base is not going to be a thing, and I'm telling you now, this game will be gone within 2 years of PG2 being announced. My opinions, but I've seen it happen before. Strong points, they talk about the free-to-play monetization, talking about continued support for both games. Don't think it's going to work. Large player base, all the information that we've previously seen. Unfortunately, with Pixelgun 3D, their words don't mean anything anymore. The only way this game is going to thrive and survive is if actions speak louder than words. They need to do everything right. And they definitely need to be a lot more transparent with us. What do they mean they're going for this free-to-play monetization experience? Explain it. Expand it. Don't just give us... how many questions? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions? I want to see a massive list of 20 popular questions, like the nitty-gritty stuff that they don't typically want to answer. We want to see it. We want to see what your plans are, not glazing over the basic stuff that people have been asking. So I don't have high hopes, but I love to be proven wrong.